Hi guys, welcome back to Round Table with Buma, the only table where we discuss any and everything, the only table where we don't judge you, we don't criticize you, whatever you say is right in your own opinion, okay? And on this episode, we have a very interesting topic, and with me are two amazing, fantastic, beautiful, intelligent, smart girls to be discussing what we term or what we call sex on the first date. Right or wrong? What's your take? Yes, with me I have just by my right is the very beautiful Annie. Yeah, she's got a very charming smile. And of course, Fortune. Yeah, like I don't want to call the name, but you know those drinks that one is orange and one is dark, no endorsement. All right, guys, so officially I welcome you to Round Table. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Just for checks, they are not this calm. Allow the discussion to go on, you'll get to find out who they really are. This is not their real face. So. All right, so we're discussing sex on the first date. Now, from public opinions that I sample out there, some saw it as very wrong, some see it as no big deal, some see it as it takes a cheap girl to actually, have sex with a man she just had probably just met or went on a first date with. So I will start with Fortune. First off, what is your take on sex on the first date?
Okay, personally, for me, sex on the first date, I don't know, it depends on what you and we must have talked about for going out on a date, and it depends on the kind of date.
So you're saying that it is possible?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we got the memo. So Annie, what's your take on sex on the first date?
Okay, I feel like sex on the first date is relative. I could be with someone on the first date and I'm not vibing with this person. And I could vibe with you, not for any reason, just for the sex. I just want to have that moment with you because you are really
amazing. From conversations. Okay, now I'm finding this interesting. Though it would have been more interesting for me, and especially for the roundtable discuss, if both of you had counter opinions, but it's fine. So coming back to you, Fortune, you said it depends on the kind of date, and what could be those variables that you think would be okay for a woman to give in on the first date? Just say it.
I don't know. I have no idea what could be the variables that make it.
No, because you made mention of stuff like depending on the type of date and
Okay, if it's a dinner date, the dinner date being red dress, lady in the red dress. So from dinner straight to the other room.
Okay.
Well, maybe if it's a pack date, we go home straight or whatever. I don't know. It depends. So maybe we can go to a beer parlor.
Okay. No, that's not bad. Don't make beer parlor sound like it's bad.
Nah, I never said it.
So because it looks like both of you share almost the same opinion, Annie, I'll come to you at this time. What happens maybe in a situation where, okay, you're on a date with this guy, let's assume it's a dinner date, you're on that very sexy red dress, the date is going all emotional, this guy is saying everything you want to hear, and all of a sudden it's time to go home and he's actually driving to your house to drop you off. Would you want to propose it?
I could like you and very, very much, but I'm not thinking sex with you. Yes.
Okay.
And sex with someone is just...
No, okay, now we're assuming it's that type that you're thinking sex, but the dude is not responding in that way. He's probably not seeing the green light. You are expecting him to say, okay, let's go to my place.
Go home.
But he's driving you home.
Okay, he's driving me home.
Yeah.
Take me home and go home. I'm not putting myself out there. It has to be mutual.
And are you sure there'll be no sort of regrets when you're home like this idiot or just carry me to go?
I vibrator at home or I use this hand.
I like that. Now instead of making yourself look like you're cheap.
It's not about making myself look like I'm cheap. I could literally tell you, I feel like having sex, but how am I going to feel after telling you?
So So what could lead to that position where you can feel like, oh, don't mind me, I shouldn't put myself in a position. It's all right. This is getting very, 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 very interesting. So, unfortunately, let's paint a scenario. Yeah? Assuming that type of dinner that you think can work, can lead to sex on the first date happens, and then you possibly got to this guy's house, and maybe you saw that the whole cleanliness and maybe smoothness you saw was all in the outside. And let's just assume the moment you walked in, there's a shoe just by the door and the stocking is actually stinking.
Okay, I mean...
How do you manage the situation not to do again or to do?
Are we talking about his personal hygiene? Because
yes, let's go there.
Okay, right now.
Yeah, sometimes you can't even hold yourself. You don't even care about, you just want to get laid and...
Yeah, there are times like that where you just want to get
Okay, so women do feel that way?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
But, man, I would just...
So what could be that? What could lead to that sometimes where you not even want to care about even things like personal hygiene? What could make it so intense that you just want to knock and leave?
When you are ovulating.
Maybe you're a sex addict. Maybe you've been sex starved. Maybe you've anticipated having this moment with this guy, and you can't just let that moment go. But you know that after today, you're not seeing me again, because what manner of dirtiness is this?
You made mention of please, for the sake of the guys, how do we identify when the woman? See, I need to hide the bro code. I need to let the guys know.
No, I mean, when you're ovulating, you have your hormones, like...
Okay.
Yeah, you have hormones.
In layman's word, holiness. You want to say something?
Can I say something? Okay, I know I'm in front of the camera, but I don't actually know when I ovulate. And I don't feel...
Honey.
Yes, and people sometimes say when you're menstruating,
yeah, the urge comes.
I don't feel all of that. I don't even know how that works.
So how do you know that you want sex? What feeling do you have? What's the reaction in your body?
I want cuddles. I just want to be hearing sweet nonsense.
Beautiful lies.
Beautiful lies, yes. I just hope that you understand that. I don't take it to heart. It's just for the meantime. That's it.
So what about in a case where, okay, the girl is probably ovulating, or she's been craving for this, or she's been sex starved, blah blah blah, and you guys get to the room and you possibly get down, and let's say for Annie, like that time that you don't ever want to come back, and the guy comes up with the whole emotions after that night and start checking up on you, I love you. How do you handle it?
Number one, you don't take people's emotions for granted.
Okay.
So I think there are better ways to handle situations like that.
That is what we want to know, for the sake of my brothers.
Yeah, no, just play.
I wouldn't play along.
Wouldn't that be emotional fraud?
I wouldn't play along because I'm not trying to give you green lights. I'm not trying to put things in your head. I think I'll just politely mention to you how I'm not feeling what you're feeling, but we can be cool. And I know for sure that I can literally be cool with you after everything, after letting you know that this is not. But can you be cool with me afterwards?
Let's get something straight. I think most ladies get this thing wrong all the time. From a man's perspective, yeah, you said you can literally be cool with a guy. This is a guy that's, you guys have had sex before, and now you just want to be cool. Now that you being cool means no sex, but we're good. But he's still seeing what he saw that drove him to want to see your panties. How do you think he's going to manage that? It's more like you're saying, let this whole thing be platonic now, after you've been there before. Men do have blue balls, you know.
We've been there before, but we could actually. I'm not that kind of person that wants you every time. I would like not want to. I'll ignore your chats and archive your chats so I don't see.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so this is what happens.
We've done this. Guy, chill now. Another time.
I still feel like there are better ways handling it because aside sex, I feel like there are a lot of things that can benefit from you and you can benefit from me. We necessarily don't have to make it a sexual relationship. Like,
Yeah, so this whole thing still depends on how amazing the sex was. Trust me, see, this guy, his top gasket could be blown out and he wants this thing. Okay, but quickly, let me ask you, Annie, have you ever found yourself in that situation or know somebody that has been in that situation where, as the lady, the dates led to sex on that first night and you liked the experience, everything was just picture perfect, and then you wanted more, and this guy was just so laid back, probably not taking your calls, calling you back hours later, making it look like you're bugging him. If it ever happened, how did you manage it?
I don't think I've ever wanted more. Like, I don't think I've ever wanted more. I've only had the experience of him wanting more, and I think I like him, and we're good, and I guess we respect each other's boundaries, and that's how it should be.
What about you, Fortune? You look like a lover girl. You look like somebody that has gone down that lane.
Okay. I kind of respect myself a lot. So if anything like that ever happens, which, yeah, of course, I must have been in a situation like that before. So I just like, well, if things are like this, then I just delete your number. I don't see your number, so it doesn't cost me to call you. Maybe one time I see your number, one time you call me, you can just, yeah.
Okay, so from the both of you, what I see is diplomacy, violence. Let's manage this straight to the point, no time. Okay, so quickly before I let you guys go off the round table with Boma, I want to ask you guys this last question. What would you tell the young girl out there or the normal girl out there to look out for, if there's the possibility of sex on the first date? What should be those qualities you should look out for?
I don't advise sex on the first date, but if by any chance, I don't know what you should look out for. Just do your thing and move on.
In other words, chop and clean mouth.
Simple.
And what about you?
Whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing it with a sound mind. If you want to be having sex on the first date, I hope it's something you've probably done before, you want to try it, and you're doing it with your full chest, so that you know you have yourself to blame if at all anything occurs. Anything like, he's not picking my call.
Because last, everybody go chop break. All right, Fortune, thank you very much for coming around table with Boma. Annie, you've been super amazing. I totally enjoyed the conversation, and I do hope if I invite you guys will come through for me again.
Sure, definitely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this particular episode, Sex on the First Date. And trust me, the discussion was very exciting, entertaining, and of course educating. But don't worry, all you have to do is just hit the subscribe button on this channel, and of course the notification bell, so you get to know and be the first to know when we drop a new and interesting episode on Roundtable with Boma. Until I see you again,
Bye.
you know what to do.